We're so afraid of rejection. And I get it. Hearing no sucks. But here's the thing. If you don't ask, it's already a no. It's time for a raise. Don't you think? Wouldn't you like to make more money? Hi, my name is Christopher Lawrence. I am with ChangeMyLifeCoaching.ca, and I am a career and life coach, and I love what I do. I hope you do too. So yeah, is it time for a raise? Is it time for you to ask for a raise? Here's a couple of tips that I have about how to ask for a raise. 1, ask. Why? Less than 50% of people have asked for a raise. But when people ask for a raise and they do so correctly, there are some things that you can do that I'll talk about in this video. When you do so correctly, your chances of getting that raise are greater than 80% most of the time. But most of us don't ask. We're so afraid of rejection. And I get it. Hearing no sucks. But here's the thing. If you don't ask, it's already a no. So if you need to develop the bravery to ask for a raise, you need to reach out to me. And you can do that on ChangeMyLifeCoaching.ca. Click the contact us link and our staff will make sure that I get that email from you. Here's a couple of other things. Oh, by the way, check out this book. It's called Rejection Proof. And I think the subtitle is something like 100 Days of Rejection and how this guy overcame his fear of rejection. His name is Jaijang, 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 and I believe he's got a TED Talk too. I read this book a while ago, and it is phenomenal. And even for me, I'm not super afraid of rejection, but even for me, I got lots out of that book. So I really encourage you to read it because asking is the first step to receiving. You're not guaranteed to receive, but if you don't ask, your chances, or if you do ask, your chances increase, because if you don't, you get nothing. So a couple of other tips to remember. When you're asking for a raise, attach it to something personal. Why, from a personal perspective, do you want that? Remember, companies have budgets. So sometimes it's not about what you're worth. Sometimes it's about what the company can afford to pay you, right or wrong, and sometimes if you can establish a case of like, here's what I do, here's what that work is worth. If you look at the industry, this is what's in the industry. If you look at my peers, sometimes we have information about our peers. Careful with that, because you can get into lots of trouble for knowing other people's salaries in a company. But if it's open in your company and that's something they publish or people talk about, then you could use that to your advantage as well. And you could say, here's what it is, and here's why I think I should get that, but also attach it to something personal. For me to achieve my personal goal of buying a condo, going back to school, part-time, or having a decent retirement, or getting a couple of vacations a year, whatever, I'd like to go to Asia for a couple of weeks, and, I'm going to need to make more money to make that work, right? Attaching it to something personal actually increases empathy in your employer, not always, but often, and so that can increase your chances of getting the raise. So connect it to something personal and know your worth. You got to know what you're worth in the company and in the industry. And here's the cool part about this. If they say no, don't run away from the conversation. Stick it out and say, okay, no problem. Can you tell me what it would take for me to make more money in this company? And they might say, there's nothing you can do. This is the way it's going to be. And you say, okay, and that's good information. Now you can say, is it time to find a new job? Or do I need to learn how to save differently or whatever, right? But also sometimes they say, well, honestly, the company needs to increase sales. And you say, okay, great. How can I support that? Like, maybe there's something I can do to support that makes me stand out and makes me raise-worthy because the company will be making more money. Sometimes it's just like, oh, you need to meet these competencies. And it's like, great, let's come up with a plan. So now you've got them on board with a plan to get a raise in a few months or in the next year whenever they give increments, right? So it's sometimes they give you enough information that you can actually create exactly what you need. And they're like, well, we need to see more of this and this with you. And they might be being very casual about how they say that. You write those things down formally and you say, so what you're saying is, if I do this and this and this, that will get me a raise. Right? So you're asking for a commitment. If they're, well, no, it's not that simple. It's like, okay, so explain the complexity to me. right? And so I don't want you to feel pressured. It's okay if you say no, but I really need to understand, because if I'm going to get if I want more money, and for me to get more money, I have to get better, then I need your help getting better because I can't do it. So by the time I walk out of this room, I want a development plan that's going to put me on track to get where I want. Here's the cool thing about all this. This might not just be for getting a raise. It might also be for getting a promotion. It might be for getting to work on a certain project. It might be for having them pay for your schooling. It could be a whole bunch of different things, right? And it doesn't just work at work. It works at home too, in your personal life. There's lots of different things. So remember, if you don't ask, you don't receive. And let's post some amazing comments below about things that you asked for that you never thought that you'd ask for, and it worked out to your favor, or that you heard a no and it worked out somehow anyway. And it's okay if you're still struggling with asking. Post that below too, and let's offer those people some encouragement. My name is Christopher Lawrence. I'm with changemylifecoaching.ca, and you can reach out to me there. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks very much.